that guy, the contact for the job?
I'm so excited to see Tony after work.
Seems like a small decision, but they all add up over time. It's nothing like it after all.
It's lovely here, isn't it? I've been from one end of the settled systems to the other. I knew you'd appreciate it. I usually come up... You'd be surprised. That's actually what... I was... No, not at all. Just let me get all of this out. I have a lot to say. It's about my return to Cassiopeia. What we learned about Sona has been constantly replaying in my mind. Maybe it sounds crazy, but that young girl's isolation feels like a reflection of my own life. Maybe. But for how long? I've spent my lives, despite that. Are you sure? For all we know, it's in my nature to keep people at arm's length. Or worse, push them away. Right now? Are you talking about Constellation? Or what exactly are you saying? Sorry, I just need a moment to gather my thoughts. I know you want to have a serious relationship. So, if you're willing to take that leap of faith with someone like me, then I'm ready to do this. You're something truly special. You know that? You've helped me conquer my self-doubt, my confidence. For the first time in my life, I feel complete. And you're the best thing that's happened to me in my life. When I need to talk to you about. I received a message from my mother a few days ago. She's returned from another one of her sightseeing cruises. Oh, of course. The thing is, my mother and I don't talk. Sure. But as soon as... Oh, I'm so... You see, both of my parents were diplomats working under the flag of the UC Administrative Division. After I completed my basic education, they signed me up for a one-year apprenticeship in their department, without bothering to ask. Wanted isn't the right word. Demanded would be more appropriate. For my apprenticeship, I was sent to Sidonia. My job consisted of drafting political policies and arbitrating trade disputes. The silver lining of the job was that it allowed me to spend time exploring every square inch of Mars. I was swallowed by it. Months before the apprenticeship ended, I dumped my diplomat. Of course, my parents didn't approve. Well, that wasn't the worst of it. You see, my father was killed. I returned to jail. No, what you... That's why I fell in love with... Listen, I'm going to be completely upfront with you. All this talk of family, it makes me wonder where our own relationship stands. You mean that? I've been dreaming about this moment and still... I don't know what to say. Yes, yes, of course, yes. I just need a little time to think about the ceremony. I have some thoughts about how we should move forward. Please tell me you're not going to make us run the Red Mile. Ah, a new face. I wonder, is this the face of a board? My name is May, and I'm the proprietor of this establishment, home of the...
Yeah, well, You better stop messing with my unit, or there are gonna
Never
be
heard of
consequences.
it. Never. You're in for a treat, then. The Red Mile is the settled system's most exciting sporting event. Brave contestants from all corners of the galaxy come here to try their luck in a deadly race to the finish.
This place is great.
I'm happy to answer any other questions you might have. In the meantime, please enjoy our world's famous hospitality. That is true. But Mr. Graziani values his privacy. What is your business?
Well, it's not up to you, is it? Meanwhile, here's some free
Quite a leap of faith that you're asking me to take. I have no particular love for Marco, but he is a business associate. So I must protect my reputation. Fortunately for you, I'm in a generous mood. It's been too long since we've had proper entertainment. If you're willing to provide it, I'll give you Marco. Are you prepared to run the Red Mile? I give you my word, which is something I never do lightly. Once you've begun, I'll collect bets from our patrons who will place wagers on yours. That's what every runner's... Now that we're clear on what's expected of you, are you ready to begin? Good. Come with me and I'll introduce you.
I'm a little preoccupied, to be honest. It's about Donovan.
I'm on duty.
Heading to the
Let's get the hell out of my face.
Don't want to be too hashed about.
Pardon?
It's a pleasure to have you.
People betting over other people's very survival. Absolutely revolting. Important or not, I'm ready to listen.
The hour of fate is at hand.
Take your time.
A runner has come to test the Red Mile! Now is your chance to get a good look at our fearless challenger as you contemplate your wagers. Do you see the fire in those eyes? What is that if not steely determination? I think you'll agree that we're in for quite a show! The rules are simple. Go through the door and take the elevator down to where the mile begins. Activate the beacon at the base of the tower. You'll see just
Well, that is simply unacceptable. Congratulations, runner. You have succeeded where most have failed. In fact, you seem none the worse for wear. I'm not easily impressed, but you've managed to surprise me. As promised, I'll set up your meeting with Marco. I'll dispatch a courier to let him know you're coming. Please take a moment to relax and enjoy our hospitality. I'll return shortly.
Hey. I'm looking for work. You hiring? Not asking for much. Where do you want me? No problem. Oh, Captain.
Yes? What?
Okay, hello.
Get out of my face before I put a bullet.
You're back. Are you... Really? Either the Red Mile's reputation is exaggerated, or you're just that good. Anyway, I'm relieved you made it through okay.
Why? Afraid you'd lose all that work you put into your smuggling investigation?
I wouldn't expect you to understand. All you see in people is what you can get from them. I'm glad, because that was an incredibly brave thing you did. And we need rangers with that kind of courage. Also, I owe you an apology. I was pretty awful to you at first. I'm sorry about that. How could you possibly... Maybe someday I can... But no. No. Now isn't the time. We need to focus on the task at hand. Once you're on your way, I'll return to the Rock and let the Marshal know what's going on. Come home safe, Deputy. That's an order.
You always were the soft one, little sister.
Oh, go to hell. Or at least make yourself useful and get us some drinks.
You must be tougher than you look.
Yes. People will be talking about this for a while.
Don't see a lot of people survive the mile.
Time for me to keep my promise, runner? You can find Marco on Kodos aboard his ship. I'd advise you not to keep him waiting. He is not exactly patient. Good. Travel safely, runner. Should you ever crave the challenge of the mile again, it will be here, waiting for you.
Let me know when you're ready to launch.
Captain, landing procedure initiated.
Bus is in the back.
Well, one thing's certain. Graziani certainly isn't afraid to flaunt his wealth.
Here to join the first best murder company there is.
My word. Some of these pieces on display are incredible. They belong in a museum.
Welcome. May's message didn't exactly make it clear why you wanted to meet with me. If you're looking for work, my organization is always in need of pilots and security personnel, willing to take risks. Ah, I see. You did well to find me. I'm not an easy man to locate. Though I suppose we haven't exactly been keeping a low profile lately. Given the nature of the contract, a degree of exposure was always a risk, but a calculated one. To be honest, I think the Major is all but spoiling for a confrontation with the Rangers. Still, I confess, I'm a little disappointed that the Marshal sent a deputy instead of a full-fledged Ranger.
I'm willing to bet this deputy can handle whatever you intend to throw in our path.
And who might you be?
Sarah. Sarah Morgan.
It's a pleasure to welcome you aboard, Sarah. It's clear you are a woman of refinement as well as beauty.
How about we skip the compliments and move things along, shall we?
Your deputy friend here could have a bright future, assuming we all keep our heads. I'm not sure you are grasping the situation here, Deputy. You are on my ship, outnumbered by my guards, who'll kill you without hesitation. I'm a businessman. If you expect me to cooperate, I'm going to want something in return. I won't tell you everything. I do still have some loyalty to my unit. However, I can point you in the right direction. In exchange, I want the Rangers to let me operate with a free hand. I can't do that. The losses I'd incur would be too great. How about I sweeten the deal? Accept my offer, and I'll throw in a little something extra for you. I have a better idea. Instead, I tell you something you don't want to know. But you should. The Council of Governors is a group of greedy and corrupt liars who are using you and the other Rangers to protect their own interests. Do you really think they give a damn about the people of the Freestar Collective? If being in the 1st Cavalry taught me anything, it's that blind loyalty gets you killed. Time you learn the same.
Bring it on! Not another one for me!
Well, I suppose they're not going to need it anymore.
Let's do this! You're done! You're a damn joke. You've got no idea who you're messing with. Come on!
Aquila would be a quaint world to retire on, if the damn wildlife wasn't so hostile.
Hey, Deputy.
Hey there, Deputy.
Helga says I spend too much time at my terminal. He's probably right.
Hey there, Deputy. Good, good. If you ask me, I don't think you're like an Ashta creepy. So, did you get any more? Oh, come to Daddy, you sweet little piece of technology. You go stalk your prey and leave the rest to me, Deputy.
Deputy. Take a seat.
Grab a chair.
While you've been in the field, we've had more reports about farmers being threatened and attacked. Unfortunately, some didn't survive. It's worse. It's tragic. How's your investigation proceeding? That's assuming he finds something useful. Otherwise, you'll be no better off than when you started.
It must be very easy for you to sit back and criticize when we've been doing all of the field work.
I've done my part. Besides, this is Ranger business, so why don't you keep your mouth shut?
Let's move on. I asked the other Rangers to share their opinions of you, and there are some things I want to go over. We'll start with Ranger Callow in Hopetown. She was grateful for your timely arrival, and impressed you had the guts to take on those pirates. Nia says you were respectful with Ron Hope and didn't push too hard. That shows me you were listening when I said to go easy on him. I can understand that. He can be uncompromising, but he looks after his people.
Let's continue. We've got a detailed report from Ranger Price about your recent visit to Neon. He said you helped an informant by paying off a large debt. That's the right way to think about it. You definitely went above and beyond, and the Marshal and I thank you for that.
You got results, and that's what matters most. Price was impressed by that. Said you really took the initiative.
Ranger Macmillan praised what she called your uncommon bravery and dedication. She said you took on the Red Mile so you could get a meeting with Marco Graziani. Sounds like you're starting to understand what it means to be a Freestar Ranger.
So what happened with Marco? I doubt he gave you that slate out of the kindness of his heart. I suppose underestimating you was his last mistake. Damn. I thought if anyone could see reason, it'd be Marco. What about Maya Cruz? Her loyalty to Hull and the 1st Cavalry was stronger than most. I guess I'd want the same thing if I were in her place.
Excuse me, Marshal?
Not now, Alex. We're in a meeting here.
I know, but this is important. I've done it. I've cracked the encryption on the slates. Now, I don't know exactly where the First are headquartered, but there are references to a place called the Factory.
The Factory? That was our nickname for the main facility where the mechs were manufactured.
Under the terms of the peace treaty, they shut all the mech factories down right after the war.
But they didn't destroy them. At least not all of them. The facility was on Arcturus 2. It could be a dead end, but if it's not, then you'd better be ready for a fight.
If I seem strict, it's because I'm protecting the integrity of the Freestar Rangers.
Go get him, Deputy.
These Rangers are some hard-blooded folks.
Just let me drink in peace.
Time to get this shit moving.
Engines firing. Here we go. Apogee kick complete. Orbit steady.
Target shields erect.
It's gone. This'll be a quick, clean kill.
Can't skip the system with a fried grav drive, huh?
Touching down.
This world, it's beautiful. Just beautiful.
mechs were some of the deadliest instruments of war created by mankind. It's a relief that they've been outlawed by the Armistice. People that inhabited this location left it in quite a state.
Marshal Blake must be getting desperate sending a lone deputy out here. But I'll give credit where it's due. You're a hell of a pilot. If you came here seeking justice, it's waiting for you inside. I'm a man of action. I've got no use for lies. So when I tell you that you're being manipulated, you know I'm telling the truth. Governors care about anything but themselves. They're greedy and corrupt. You're a tool in the hands of the unworthy, just like I once was. I was loyal. I followed orders, and I led good men and women to their deaths. I'll carry the stain of that dishonor to my grave. First Cavalry was the greatest fighting force the Freestar Collective has ever seen. At the Battle of Mira, the First Cavalry was destroyed. Why? Because the generals got scared and asked for a truce. I've got no sympathy for cowards, or for the people who put them in power. I've also got no sympathy for those who do their bidding. That means you. Enemy! about justice for my soldiers. Minutes away, minutes from winning the battle and the war, when the ceasefire order came down. Now there's a debt of honor, and the people who betrayed us, the people of the Free Star Collective, are going to pay.
I can't believe the scope of the operation the FC was running here. It's a miracle that the fighting ended at all.
Eyes on hostile!
You just took on some of the best mercenaries in the Free Star Collective and cut right through them. If we'd have had more like you in the war, we could have planted our flag in New Atlantis. You fought because you had to, and you fought well. Don't apologize for that. More importantly, you survived. Most soldiers don't. I know, because I'm the one who led them to their death. You don't know what it's like to look around and see the faces of warriors who trusted you to lead them as they die screaming. I watched brave men and women torn limb from limb by monsters. I saw mech pilots cooked alive in their cockpits as their machines burned. Those deaths didn't have to be meaningless, but spineless leaders gave up on us, even when victory was within our grasp.
We've both seen our share of hell. It's whether or not we allow those awful memories to consume our souls that defines who we are.
You have no right to judge me. You really want to know? Because you might not like the answer. Last chance, Deputy. You can walk away right now and remain blissfully ignorant.
thinking you fight for a noble cause. But if you still want the truth, I'll shatter that illusion for you right now. We'll see about that. Not long after I started the first, I was contacted by a man who said he represented someone wealthy and influential. I refused to work for a shadow client, so he agreed to set up a meeting. Imagine my surprise when Ron Hope showed up. He offered me a lucrative contract to take possession of certain farms throughout Freestar Space.
That's quite an accusation.
All I know is that after we cleared the place out, Hope was sending in some kind of machinery. Our job was to make sure nobody saw the operation. Sure I did. The money was good, but the payback was the real reward. If I could avenge my men, make some credits, and eventually expose a member of the council, well, that, my friend, is my definition of justice. You think I've lost? Is that... You go find Ron Hope and tell him what I've told you. Then you can deal out whatever... You do your...
If what he says is true...
Don't bother.
We're trying to take you in quietly. Violence is not the answer, Major.
I'm gonna make this easy for you, Deputy. I'm gonna die the way I lived. Weapon in hand, no compromise, no fear. But first, here, take this. Use it to cut out the weakness rotting at the heart of the Freestar Collective. When the next war comes, and it will come, the Collective needs to be strong. Now my unit's waiting for me, and I'm gonna report for duty one last time. Goodbye, Deputy.
Well, when you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you. Oh, there are far too many of these abandoned locations littering the galaxy. I have something I need to discuss with you. So, I've given everything we've discussed a lot of thought, and I've decided I'd like Aja Mamasa to conduct our marriage ceremony. I knew you'd understand. So, with that settled, I suppose we just keep it a quiet ceremony? Just the two of us? If anyone else had suggested that, I'd say no. But hearing it from you, I know in my heart that I'll send her an invite and we'll see if she... Anyone else? Or... Oh, that's sweet of you to suggest, but I think bringing Sona all the way to Aja's home would be too much anxiety for the poor girl. We need to give her some... Honestly, no. I respect everyone at Constellation, but this is part of my person. If it's all the same... All right, it's settled then. I'll send a message to Aja, asking for her to preside over the ceremony. As soon as you're ready, let's head to Paradiso. I can't tell you how much this means to me. I love you. While we're here, we should swing by Hope Tech Star Yard and see if they have anything interesting for sale.
I don't want to hear any complaints.
One hopes the best thing that happened.
Keep an eye on your valuables.
That's very generous, Mr. Hope.
It's well earned, Burkett. We set some ambitious quotas, and you met every one of them.
Well, I won't pretend it was easy, but everyone pulled together and we got it done.
I'll let you share the good news, whenever and however you like.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Something more you need, Deputy? Good to see you again. Well, I've just received a report from the Marshal about your progress. He said you had a promising lead on the mercenaries who stole my ship. I trust you're here with good news? Did you now? Well, don't keep me in suspense. disgraced war hero who went to prison, and you actually believed him? That two-faced bastard kept the slate. Oh, I suppose this is his revenge against the Council of Governors for what happened during the war. I'm impressed, Deputy. It's clear you have a bright future ahead of you.
What's going on? What is this about, Mr. Hope?
Nothing that concerns you, Birgit. In fact, why don't you make yourself scarce?
I think I'd like to hear what the deputy has to say.
The cards are on the table. So why not? The truth is, we've been falling behind the competition. Significantly so. We needed solutions. A few years ago, I began to diversify. We started to research chemicals, fuel, those sort of things. We developed an experimental fertilizer. Oh, and it failed utterly. It wiped out entire crops. I was prepared to write the whole thing off when we made a discovery that changed everything. Turns out, our fertilizer was transforming the soil, bolstering its mineral content tenfold. We donated the fertilizer to select homesteads and let the farmers do the work. And when the time was right, we cleared the farm and brought in machinery to harvest the mineral-rich soil. The reduction in labor and materials costs sent my profits soaring.
So those farmers poisoned themselves, and you ended up reaping profits. How can you even live with yourself?
It's nothing personal. It's just good business. I don't expect you to understand. I never intended for anyone to be hurt. I told Hull to buy the land, not take it by force. Unfortunately, farmers can be stubborn folk. And I couldn't risk any witnesses.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. How could you do something so awful to innocent people, to families?
Not another word out of you, Birgit. I can take your job, and more. We'll discuss this later. In any case, I suppose the gig is up. I give you my word that I'll call off the operation and return the land to its right. Like I said, I give you my word. Besides, with that resolved, as a member, and of course, we'll both agree to forgive. Did I not make myself clear? And with that job, I'll be... Well, let's not be too hasty, Deputy. There's something else you need to consider. I'll do what's necessary to protect my company and my employees. If you tell anyone about this, you're risking their livelihoods. Do you really want to put all these people up? But on a much larger scale, justice can be... Sometimes I'll make myself I won't let you jeopardize my reputation if that means you suffer an unfortunate incident at the hands of my security. I'm important!
You're not actually threatening to attack a Freestar Ranger.
You're a despicable man, Hope. And I hope you get exactly what you deserve.
Absolutely. Consider it over. It's ancient history. You've already taken care of the first, and I won't be hiring anyone to take them. From now on, I'll dedicate myself to. As for you, you've saved this company. And likewise did. Now, I won't keep... Oh, and...
If we're planning on staying a while, we could grab a room at the Stone Root Inn.
Be careful if you run into those...
Well, hey there.
Just let me drink in peace. Join us,
Back.
Deputy.
Good to see you back safe, Deputy. What's the word on the mech factory? Damn, you've got guts of... Did you find out why the first... Makes my heart heavy to hear that. There was a time he was a great leader and a hero of the Freestar Collective. It's too bad he threw... Still, it's hard to escape the feeling you cured the symptom. They were mercenaries. Now they can just hire someone else. The whole thing just... You're right. You bought us time, and that ain't without some value. Who knows? Maybe we'll learn something new that'll move the case forward. While we've got you here, Emma, would you please?
With pleasure, Marshal. When you first joined us, I told you that you'd undergo There's one thing left to do. Do you feel ready to wear the badge of a full-fledged Freestar? Good. Duty and honor are the backbone of the Freestar Rangers. Marshal, I approve the deputy for advancement to the rank of Ranger.
Thank you, Ranger Wilcox. In your time serving as a deputy, you've shown exceptional courage, fearless tenacity, and a high regard for the safety of our citizens. By the authority granted to me by the Council of Governors, I hereby promote you to the rank of Ranger. I know you will, Ranger. Let's hear it for our new Ranger.
Well done.
Great job, Ranger!
We got a lot of bars in this. All class joints. Well, except Aggie's.
Congratulations. The promotion's well earned.
A lot of famous people. This is tequila. Popping back a beer, you never know who you'll meet.
I specialize in cryptog.